Welcome to Scorched Earth. This is going to be a general mid-month reading for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon and Ascendant. I'm going to keep it nice and short because it's just covering a 2-week period from the 15th to the 31st of May. So I'm going to pull 3 cards for your current energy, 3 cards for what's coming towards you, and 3 cards for advice to see if we can ease the way for you a little bit. I'm going to try not to pull any clarifiers, but we'll see how we go, because sometimes I do. Anyway, I have 3 cards for Cancer's current energy, please. Ooh, this is interesting. So the first card that you've got is the 2 of Pentacles. The second card is Death. So 1 more card for Cancer, please. And the third and final card for your current energy is the 8 of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Page of Pentacles followed by the Hermit. And I really like this for you, Cancer, because well, for a start, we've got a major arcana on the table in your current energy, right? This Death here. It's the card of Scorpio, but I don't think that that's relevant. I think that you are undergoing a transformation of some sort at the moment. And it seems to be with your current circumstances, right? The material circumstances that you find yourself in. There may be an emotional component to it somewhere, but it feels like you've done a bit of soul searching. And it feels like there's more to you and more to your life than you had given credit before. And I think that you're starting to see it. And where there are those circumstances that around you that you're not happy with, I feel like you're prepared to completely overhaul them in some way, because there's been a sense of you kind of juggling and balancing, but in a slightly stricken way, right? Emotional turmoil in the background there, and here on the land, you trying to pull off this acrobatic feat of standing on one leg and juggling these pentacles whilst the sea washes around you. And I think you've had enough. I think you want more than you've been experiencing. And the lockdown's done this to a lot of people. There's been a lot of life assessment stuff going on, and people realizing that there is a different way to do things once you've got the time and the space to really contemplate it. You can kind of see where things aren't working for you. I'm just going to get some clarifiers for this 8 of Swords here. What have we got? 10 of Cups. Yeah. One more for that. The Sun. Yeah, see, you're sick of feeling trapped, right? 8 of Swords talks about feeling trapped. I think that what is transforming is in some way your understanding that you have kind of sabotaged yourself in a lot of ways, right? You felt trapped by your own circumstances, but kind of lost sight of the fact that you were the one who created these circumstances in the first place. You know, we do this, you know, we get particular jobs or whatever, and then we become, in our minds, kind of slaves to these things. And actually, once you've got an opportunity to stand back from that a little bit, you can see how you created this thing. But it's tremendously empowering because it means you can see how you can fix it again as well. And, you know, the shifts that need to be made. The 2 clarifiers that we've got are the 10 of Pentacles and the Sun. And this I'm going to take as confirmation for the thought process that is going on with you at the moment, Cancer. And that is, you want to prioritize your own happiness, right? And both of these cards scream joy. Right? Major Arcana and Minor Arcana. I would say possibly the 2 happiest cards of the Major Arcana and the Minor Arcana. You know, family is really important to you. Your own happiness is really important to you. Your family's happiness is important to you. It's just screaming positivity. You're kind of feeling like being stuck now does not suit you anymore, and you're overhauling it, right? In whatever way that applies to you. I'm prepared to start again. In some ways, you know, kind of stripping it down to basics and going, right, okay, that's where I want to end up. These are my current circumstances. How do I get from here to here? Rather than just kind of getting up every day, putting one foot in front of the other, you know, kind of mainlining coffee and then just getting stuck into what is. That's great. I really, really like that for you. So let's see what's coming towards you for the last 2 weeks of May. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like your work is something that's going to get an overhauling treatment here. Wait, 2 more cards for Cancer, please. 4 of Pentacles. 5 of Swords in reverse as well. Ooh, this feels like a little bit of a seismic shift for you, Cancer. We've got 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck here as well. That talks to me about work, so this could be work related. Certainly if you own your own business, I could see this being part of the thing. But even if it's just your job, that's possible. But these are 2 cards of you know, material and emotional happiness. Like, you're looking to balance yourself out properly, rather than being stuck in this energy here where everything's just kind of snatching, you know, little bits of time here, there and everywhere to do the things that you want to do, or completely ignoring things that are emotionally distressing you, you know, locking it down like we do. Like, this is very balanced, right? Inside and out, everything you want to be matched. And what we've got coming towards you is the Eight of Pentacles, right? You're willing to put in the work to achieve all of this transformation, because transformations don't occur by themselves. Like, once it happens up here, I kind of think that's the hardest part, you know. Actioning it in the 3D with the right attitude is actually a lot less difficult than changing your mindset. And we've got the 4 of Pentacles here, and like, there's stuff that you're going to have to let go, there's stuff that you're going to have to release, and don't feel like it's going to be that much of an effort for you. I think the thought of doing it is going to be more intimidating than actually doing it itself. And then we've got the 5 of Swords, but it came out in reverse, and I feel like this speaks to your mindset. Because the 5 is a very unstable energy, right? So we have, it kind of comes along and it blows up all the foundations that you built in the 4th. What I'm seeing here is you understanding that those foundations that you built in the 4 are now no longer serving you, right? They served a purpose, but actually they're limiting you in a lot of ways, right? The best way to stabilize a 5 energy is to reverse it, and that's what's come up here for you. So this way, we're talking about communication specifically, because it's the sword suit, but that can be internally or externally expressed. So we're talking about, you know, the communication that we have with other people outside of ourselves, but also the communication that we experience within, you know, our thoughts. Changing patterns of thinking that were not serving you in any way. I'm going to get another card for that, or 2 perhaps. But coming, the 4 of Pentacles has come out directly underneath the Death card as it sits on my table, and it feels like there's a little mini revolution going on with you, Cancer. And I love it. What about 5 of Swords, please, in reverse? Oh shit! Wow. Ooh, okay. At the bottom of the deck now, we've got the Lovers. That is a card of a choice. This is major life choice stuff. And what do we have to clarify the 5 of Swords in reverse? We have Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune. I can't tell you how excited I am by this, right? Ignoring the fact that all 3 of these cards are major arcana. So we're kind of talking about you hitting a really important point in your cycle, right? This feels like a changing of your thought processes, right? And what is being released is this, right? And I feel like this speaks on all sorts of levels. This is your judgment of yourself, because I think that you probably have some perfectionism issues somewhere, right? Constantly harking back, you know, maybe you judge yourself for not achieving as much as you ever thought that you would. Maybe you're still judging yourself for things that you did 10 years ago, who knows? But it's like, that's being released, because if I put it down there, it acts as a bridge between the 4 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords, right? You're releasing the old. Right? And there's an element of submission to the new. It's really interesting. I think every single video that I've done for this round, for the mid-months, the Wheel of Fortune has come up somewhere. Like, the wheel is turning for everyone, and you are putting yourself in absolutely the best place to receive what it is that could be coming in. And what's coming in for you is this decision. Directly underneath that, we've got the Three of Wands, right? This is looking towards the future, not looking back. And this is where your mind is at now, right? You consider it this way, right? The past exists nowhere, right? It exists nowhere other than in your own mind, right? And so, by definition, the way that you perceive the past runs through the filter of your brain, right? And if you've got issues with the way that you think about things, if you are constantly doing yourself down, if you feel like you are never achieving enough, then you bring that forward with you into the present. And then by extension, you kind of frame your future in that way, right? I hope that makes sense. By changing the way that you are looking at things, by changing the way that you are talking to yourself, by understanding that the past exists nowhere except that in your own mind, if you can change the way that you think about it, kind of look back with more compassion to yourself and a little bit more detachment, right? Because you are not the same person that you were 2 years ago, and you're not the same person you were 5 years ago, and you certainly are not the same person that you were 10, 15 years ago, right? Allowing that to go then changes the way that you see your present, and it changes the way that you see your future, right? And I feel like you're opening yourself wide to anything cool that's coming your way. What about the Wheel of Fortune? Judgment. Yeah, man. Like, from such a small start, right? A fucking moon. Right. We started off with the Two of Pentacles, like you made the smallest of changes, right? And it's having a ripple effect. It's cascading, right? Now we're just, the major arcana cards are just flying out. We've got the Fool. Like, changing the way that you think is the most profound way to change your life that there is, right? It doesn't matter if you won the lottery tomorrow, right? If you still live in a poverty mindset, then it's not actually going to make you happy. What you are doing, while I was doing the premeditation before I started this reading, I got a really weird physical sensation of just swelling. I just felt like I was just, and what my brain said was, you're actually kind of swelling up to fill the space now. You feel more comfortable occupying your little corner of the planet, right? It seems like there's a release of guilt. There's a release of all the things that you were holding yourself back with, right? Restricting yourself. You're kind of letting all of those go, and you are swelling up now to occupy a space that you rightfully hold, that you don't feel guilty about. Things are changing for you. There's a new path right ahead, and oh gosh, I'm so excited. I'm actually feeling really giddy about this. This is excellent. So, and this is so good because you struggled so much last year. I saw it in the readings. Just spread too thin in all ways, and you spread yourself too thin. Now it's kind of like pulling the energy back from the places that it doesn't need to be. Like getting really focused on the things that are important. And I feel like this time that you've spent in this is what's helping you do that. And then really consciously directing yourself forwards, right? Whatever's coming in for you, it's really, really exciting. Let's get you some advice. Some advice for Cancer, please. This is amazing. This is really, really amazing. So we've got the Four of Cups here. We've got the Ace of Cups, and we've got the Sun, right? So the Sun has come out twice for you. Now, the most positive card in the deck has blessed your reading twice. I love that. we've got an Ace of Cups as well. Right. The Four of Cups talks about, it can talk about missed opportunities, and it can talk about being taken for granted. But it also talks about rejection, right? And I feel like what it's saying here is that if you have any issues at the moment, right, if there's a little nugget somewhere in your head that you're having trouble working out, like how that's holding you back, you know, you maybe cannot even see the edges of it yet, I would suggest to you that the cards are saying that there's a fear of rejection that you have buried somewhere, and that's something that's worth pulling out, because you're strong enough to do it now, right? Track that back, work out where that came from, right? Work out where your absolute terror of being rejected is, right? And why you have to work so hard as a result to make everybody happy in order to feel validated, right? This is a really useful thing, and I really feel like some of you don't even know that it's there, right? Identify it, pull it out into the light, have a look at it as an adult, and then let it go, right? This is one of the things that you need to let go, because then what we've got here is the Ace of Cups and the Sun. And if there are two cards that, when together, speak to me about learning to love yourself, this is it. Because the Sun can often talk about children and childhood, right? It's associated with Leo, because Leo is playful and it's all about the inner child, right? This is you learning to love your inner child very much. And you do so by tracking back why it is that you feel so unloved in the first place, right? Why do you need to work so hard to make somebody else happy, to make you feel full and complete? You know, this is like you getting a new sense of self here, right? Learning to love yourself again. It's the best way to bring into you anything that's lining up and ready, right? Be open and be receptive to it, right? And get in touch with that inner child. The thing about the rejection is coming through really, really strongly. So take a look at it, right? I'm going to leave it there because it's just beautiful. I'm just grinning like an idiot at the cards. So if you like the video, if it resonated in any way, I'd love it if you like it or something like that. And obviously if you haven't subscribed, do that too. I think there's an extended, it'll be down in the box possibly. If there is an extended, it'll be down in the box. If there isn't, it won't. But other than that, I will see you in about a fortnight for the June readings. Okay, take care.